Hi friends, this is Soph. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about 2 ways that I have failed in terms of building my business or doing my side hustle in 2023. It might be a little bit morbid to talk about my failures as my second video on my channel, but we highlight success all the time on social media, and I thought that it's also important to highlight our failures so that we can feel normal and not beat ourselves up about it when we fail in one way or another. Now, the caveat is that obviously everybody defines failure differently, and in this video, how I've defined it is that the goals that I've set myself in 2023, I didn't achieve those goals, and that makes it a failure. Obviously, everybody has different definitions. It is okay if they have different definitions, if you have different definitions. But in this video, we're just going to talk about the goals that I've set for myself and when I didn't meet those goals. Right, let's talk about the first failure. The first failure is me testing a physical product, which is a Kindle hands-free bundle. And I've basically modeled the whole marketing for this Kindle hands-free bundle using Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek. The method is, where you set up a website and then you test people's willingness to purchase your item. What a Kindle bundle is essentially just a Kindle stand that would hold your Kindle up and a dual direction page flipper. I thought it was a great idea because I love reading, and sometimes you just don't want to hold your Kindle up when you're reading. You want your hands in your blanket, like all cozy and stuff. I thought it would do well, so I used Tim Ferriss's method, and I didn't have any real product in stock, but then I did buy test products. I ended up spending about $300 on it. That included the testing product, that included buying the domain, running the Google Ads campaign. I got basically no one on my webpage to fill the form. Now, I do understand no form response could be that the idea of the Kindle bundle was bad. It could also be that, people are just not willing to give up information on a random web page that they see on Google. Now that I think about it, it's kind of scammy. Okay, well, that to me was a failure. I set up a goal to ship a product and I didn't end up shipping it. I decided not to ship it. It was, to my surprise, I was actually okay with failing because maybe it's just not the right product or not the right time. Through that whole experience, there are 2 main takeaways for me. One is that you would think Google Ads is really intuitive, and I figured it out, but it wasn't as intuitive as I thought. For example, the word Kindle is owned by Amazon, therefore some of the assets is some of the terms or the phrases in the ad was approved and was able to be shown in my ad versus some wasn't. And I was like, that's confusing. If it's not allowed, then it shouldn't be allowed in all the assets, but it was allowed in some. So Google Ads kind of drove me crazy. I probably spent 2 or 3 days on it trying to do the test campaign. That was harder than imagined. And the second takeaway was Tim Ferriss's book was published a while ago, 10 years ago. Do I have the book here? It was published in 2011. I think most of the stories and learnings and takeaway is still valid, but the portion where you run Google Ads for a website that has no credibility and that just has a form to collect people's information, it may not be as easy as it used to be anymore. It may be slightly out of date. That's just my personal opinion. So that's my failure number 1, is not being able to ship my Kindle hands-free bundle, which I was really excited about. But, $300, at least that bought me some learnings. Failure number 2 of 2023 is that I have 2 cats and I live in an apartment in California. We have no space for cat trees, and I just thought, if we had over-the-door cat trees like we do over-the-door hangers where I save space behind the door, it would be perfect, right? When I first had the idea, I don't remember seeing any sellers of over the door cat trees. When I went to visit family in China in November, I bought one and I physically carried it back with me to test it with my cat in my apartment in California. Well, I also decided not to ship that product because one, the idea was great. It saves so much space. Right now is on the door between my kitchen and my laundry room. The place is perfect, but the downside is my cats hate it. It's not stable. When they stand on it, like wobbles left and right all the time, and the glue like won't stick to the door. That's one decision why I decided against shipping it. The second reason why I decided not to ship it was I ran some numbers. The numbers just didn't make sense. Looking back on that decision and on that failure of like not shipping the product again, I was like, well, am I mad? A little bit, but I'm still okay with it because the minimum order quantity for the cat tree was 200 units. And each unit was like 60, 70 some dollars, including shipping. That means, say $70, I would have to sell it for like $80. And I've noticed that somebody already sells it on Amazon. It just didn't make sense for me. That coupled with the fact that my cats didn't like it, just like, let's not move forward with it. Learnings that I took away from failure number 2, the cat tree is surprisingly small. I purchased a domain for the website that I was going to use to host selling the cat tree. I bought it on Porkbun. The learning is that when you buy it with a domain manager like Porkbun, you have to wait 90 days before you transfer it to somebody else, such as Shopify. During the 90 days, obviously, I decided not to even have the website to begin with, but that was just something that I didn't know. Had I decided that I want the website to be hosted by Shopify, I couldn't because I had to wait 90 days. All right, those are the 2 side hustle failures in 2023. Now that you've heard about my failures, I hope you feel a little bit better about yours too. Again, whatever your definition of failure is, whatever those failures may be.